Kitty Cam. Kitty Cam. Kitty Cam. I moved him from, I slid him across from there to there. Let's see how long he stays. You can put bets on how long he stays because I'm talking and he wants to sleep. So he's probably, I reckon, I give him 2 minutes. I give him 2 minutes before he says, screw this, I'm out of here. Because he doesn't like it when we're chatting away like that. Kita! Hi Rich, hi Heresy Squat, hi Lord Inquisitive Effect, Adrian, Jack S. Wood, Red Richmond and everyone else in the chat. And hello to the VOD Squad. If you are in the VOD Squad, give me a thumbs up, write a little comment, say hi. It's nice to see all the people in the VOD Squad joining this afterwards. Hello people and watchers and subscribers and members and Mug Club members and everyone. It's Talkie Tuesday live stream with me, your host, Winters SEO. Space Marine 2 is too easy, isn't it? It's too easy. I admit you are playing journalist mode. Used to be a huge fan. Oh, thanks. Used to be. That's good. I've definitely fallen off. Games Workshop, I've fallen off that. I'm old now. I've fallen off. Everything's fallen off. It's all falling apart. I've got a sore thumb from clicking down on the execute button on Space Marine 2 all the time. 25 on the tactical, 25 on the bulwark, 25 on the heavy guy, which is easy mode. And it's too easy. Anyone else find it easy? I find it a bit too easy. I'm looking forward to the next level. I'm looking forward to them introducing some new people and going up to level 30 or something like that. That'd be nice. Anyone else find it easy or is anyone struggling? I must admit at the start, before I learned to parry properly, I did find it a little bit tricky. But once you get the parry thing down, you're just timing it and it's a ballet. It's a smooth dance. Anyone else find it easy or hard? Anyone? Bueller? Anyone? Is it just me? I find it easy on low health sniper build. I'm finding it easy by not playing. It's easy if you don't play. But slaughtering the Xenos and slaughtering the traitors, I play easiest difficulty. And I always find ways to die. What do you mean you're finding ways to die? It's easy. You've got to get the parry down. Make sure you have a close combat weapon that is fencing, and it opens up the parry windows for you, opens up the parry windows for you. It makes it easier to parry, and if you're parrying, you get your armor back. And then if they're 2 minutes. Do I know my pussy or what? Look at that. I wonder if he can open the old door himself. Can you get out yourself? Opposable thumbs, which hurts from pressing down on the D-pad. Can you do it? Can you get out? Do you want me to help you? Do you need a hand? Are you just going to stare at the door? Because sometimes they magically open if you just stare at it and stare at it and stare at it, right? Here he goes. No, that's the wall. That's the wall. Next to the wall is the door. Try again. Try again, kitty. Just stare at it. Here we go. Round three. Oh, no. Right. Yeah. We clearly need a hand. See, he was quite happily asleep, you see. Evening with Boot Chronicles, other aka Stylus. Where were we? Parry, you mean shoot more melter. That works as well, multi-melter on heavy, just boom, 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 boom. You know what I mean? He can, yeah, he doesn't want, yeah, evening Eternal Crusader. Why have the opposite thumbs when you have your very, what? Melter gun is not, the melter gun is easy mode, isn't it? The melter gun, you're just like boom, boom. I'm trying to on the tactical, I'm trying to run around without the melter. I'm trying to level up the Stalker Pattern bolt rifle and also the heavy bolt rifle just to fire a bolt rifle because it's so satisfying. What do you mean you don't blame him to be leaving? What do you mean you'd leave if you were in the same room? It's not that smelly in here. I've got my Iron Hand stuff there. I'm looking forward to Sunday, March of Winters 2, very looking forward to that. It's the melter gun is like I have no idea how it sounds. You hear different melters in different games, don't you? But in this version of the game, it's basically like a really powerful shotgun. Crimson Lord stuff yet. Far better than GW's own attempts. I haven't seen the Crimson Lord's stuff. Is this something I'm now Googling? Heavy bolt rifle on tactical is a lot of fun. You can't put the heavy bolt rifle. Oh no, you can't. Yeah, the heavy bolt rifle, not the heavy bolt rifle as in the heavy bolter. The heavy bolt rifle, I think, leveling and up. Plasma is a beautiful thing as well on the tactical. Yes. Overcook, boom, and you can put them into the plasma and melter on the tacticals. Tactical is just all round satisfying, really. Grey Tide Studio Crimson Lord bits. Grey Tide, hang about. The Eternal Crusader is Studio Crimson Lord bits. Images. Someone's going to get sued, isn't they? Oh dear. Mind you, Cromlech's been getting away with it for ages. I mean, you know what I mean? That's very nice, that is. That looks like straight, I mean, you know. Is there some IP going on here? Is there some IP infractions going on here? Don't they really know that Games Workshop like to get very liturgious about this sort of thing? So, Rotten Beard, hi. You don't notice the difference between the heavy bolter and the normal bolter? Heavy bolt, it's at the higher difficulties when you think, yeah. 5 likes. What, really? Go crowd. We've got up to 8 likes. Yeah, like the stream. Apparently that's the thing. When are we getting more Tau on the channel? Please don't hate. Enjoy the pod. I like Tau. I like Tau a lot. I like killing Tau. They've got a unique play style. Lots of guns. Don't know. I haven't filmed a Tau one for a while. Don't know. Need to talk to Sultan or someone. Someone needs to turn up here with Tau. So I second the request for more Tau. Heavy bolt, right? Yeah, the Tau thing. I don't see. Look, when it comes to me actually putting stuff on the channel, it comes down to the guests that I have here and what they're bringing with them. If they don't bring the things, then I don't play against them. I don't tell people what to bring most of the time. I just let them set up with what. Wojtek, thank you for the first donation of the evening, legend. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. It's time for Orcs versus Empire. Russians besieging Kiev. Ultramarines versus Orcs. We did some Orcs recently, didn't we? We did some Orcs against the Imperial agents. We did the Orcs versus the Imperial agents, that thing last week. That one's doing quite well. Got over 20,000 views on that one. That one's going quite well. I saw and brought around that nice Imperial agents list, so I thought I'd tone it down a little bit. It was really close. Ultramarines v Orcs. There might actually be an Ultramarines v Orcs thing being filmed next weekend. There might be. Actually. Alright, that's a good idea. Excuse the Jim Jams. I'm going to write that down. No, Orcs. Orcs. It's my Jimmy Jams. I'm going to write that. Yeah. No, it can't be because he's bringing Tyranids, so that won't work. But it's... No. Sorry, ignore that. Brain. John Batal has been a member for 26 months. Thank you, Mr. Badell. I must really be bad, but Space Marine 2 is not easy. Although enjoying the ops and looking forward to the new ones when they come. It's... Mate. Practice. So get into the trials and just practice parrying, practice parrying, practice parrying. Left bumper, left bumper, left bumper. Or if you're on mouse and key, whatever it is. Get your parry windows down. Get that down. Get that down. You're good. And rolling. Rolling and parrying. Keeping out of trouble. You get the rolling down and the parrying down. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Before you know it, you'll be soloing Hellbrutes, level 25, max difficulty with 2 bots running around with you. It's fine. Practice on the trials. Xbox, yes. How long have I been playing? Long enough for my thumb to hurt and my back to hurt, and I've got a bit of tennis elbow in this hand. How many hours do I think I've put into Space Marine 2? I don't know, coming on to 100 now, I guess. I'm loving the game, Luke Goblin. I am loving the game. It's fun. It's addictive as all hell. You get to be a Space Marine in it and get to kill Eggbox, yes. You get to kill heretics and you get to kill Xenos. And we like killing heretics and Xenos. Screaming for the Emperor, shooting them with a las cannon or a multi-melter or a plasma incinerator. Or I haven't touched the Thunderhammer yet. And I haven't touched the grapple hook yet. I'm sort of leaving them for the things. What outside? What? Are you working on more 13th Law? Andrew Cormers just asks. I've got some ideas. There might be some changes coming to the 13th over the next year or so. Only one kind of Xenos, though. It is Tyranids, but there's multiple types of Tyranids. And then there's the Zangors, then there's the Cultists, then there's the thing. Yeah, I mean, 15 to 25 hours. Just work at the parry and parry and parry. Yeah, I'm working on... I've got some ideas in my head for the 13th Law. Just ideas in my head and that I need to get down. So I need to talk to you guys about this, actually, because Games Workshop has been legending things, right? They've legended a bunch of stuff. And I have to say about a third of the 13th has been legended. With the speeders and the bikes and contempted Rednaughts and Thunderfire cannons and all sorts of stuff has been legended because the model range is changing from what it was to what it is, yeah? They're going through this transition. It started in 8th edition. And it may be by the time we hit 18th edition, the transition will be finished and then they'll start going through it again. So I'm very aware that the majority of the 13th is Firstborn. About 10% of it might be Primaris. So there'll come a time when it all is legended. So what do? Do I just keep playing Legends? I could just keep playing Legends. The thing is, hi son, how's it going? Young King, nice. Do I keep just playing Legends? Do just Legends and Legends and Legends with the 13th and occasionally knock out the second company Primaris? Is that what I do? Evening John Battle. Well, I'm running a Sakaran in my Ultramarines 40k list because it looks cool and a Contemptor. Well, exactly. You can run a Sakaran and a Contemptor in your list because it looks cool. And Legends never die, says Monkey. You can do these things. And Sultan, God bless him, Emperor bless him, has got 28,000 different Space Marine armies. The 13th are Legends, so it fits. I like you, Red Richmond. I like you. But yeah, Sultan plays YouTube channel. He turns up with Legends all the time. All the time. So... Woodsy's a little bit saddened with the amount of Blood Angels he's lost to Legends. Are there any Deathwatch players in the chat? I mean, Deathwatch, you can still play Deathwatch with the kill teams and the way they combine units to put a biker and a jumpy guy inside a normal foot thing. But those rules, all of them, is now Legends. Lord Inquisitor, you play Deathwatch. Okay. KSM was gone. Yeah, so the whole Deathwatch army is now in Legends, and the way they function is all in Legends. So that's gone to Legends. Say that loads of Blood Angels gone to Legends. Will we get actual replacements for Devastator squads? Some Primaris Longfangs eventually? I don't think so. I don't think... Because Devastator, you can't copyright. Tactical, you can't copyright. Assault Squad, you can't copyright. You can copyright Intercessor. 18 likes on the stream. Don't forget to like the stream. Garrow is still a firstborn. Yes. All the legend characters, they're all firstborn, except for Talus, Captain Talus. He's the only named Primaris-born guy that I've got. I mean, yeah, I was upset when they killed Deathwatch as well. There was a lot of cool stuff in that codex. I'm upset because I never get to play against Deathwatch again unless someone turns up with a full Legends list. Like, I played with Deathwatch a bit on the channel when I did the run-up to winning the 2021 No Retreat Legend of Legends Championships. I played around with that. I played around with some Deathwatch army that I painted up. I borrowed the army and painted up a chunk of the army from Grey Knight SEO. And it's like, hey, can I borrow some of your Deathwatch? Also, I'm going to modify some of it because I need to, because that thing doesn't fit that thing. This is the list I've got in my head, or the couple of lists. He's like, yeah, help yourself. You can borrow my army, particularly as you're adding 1,000 points to it and mixing, matching, and I tried to get it to work. So I enjoy playing with Deathwatch, and I enjoy playing against Deathwatch. So unique, such a different way of playing, but they're legend, did it? There's so many legends coming. Bye, Adam. Deathwatch still have kill team rules. Yes, they're not dead. They are in Legends. They're on the Warhammer community. They're in there. You can find them in there. I know they're in there because Sultan's got 4,500 points of Deathwatch, and he keeps telling me that it's now in the thing. That's where you can find them. Hi, Wrath and Constantine. They do. Connor, yes. It just says Winters. What does that mean? Compendium got wiped. What? Why? Connor says, why is the Thanatar such a cool mod? I know, right? The Thanatar is a juicy meatball. Oh, I got 4 of them. Oh, chonky, hefty, Mechanicum models like that don't exist in 40k. It's all in 30k. Wojciech, thanks for another donation. Legend, thank you. Siege of Kiev. Spetsnaz being hunted down in golf clubs outside Kiev Airport. It's okay. Don't get anxiety. Ultramarines versus Orcs. Don't yell it. You want to see Ultramarines versus Orcs? Does anyone else want to see Ultramarines versus Orcs? When can I do Ultramarines versus Orcs? Because I'm looking up. That's my calendar is up here. Okay? It's up there. And it's booked until I'm starting to take... It's January and February we're now booking. To October, November, December is done. And I'm looking like they've got March of War, Cadaverous Bloom, Poodle, Steve Not Rob, Hellstorm, Wargaming, Dark Angels Chris, Andrew Price, March of War then is my anniversary. So none of them are Orcs. Dustin, don't know what he's bringing. William Willis, don't know what he's bringing. Warsmith Chris, I think he's bringing Custodes. Dark Angels Chris again. Sultan and Craig. Sullivan Gilbert is coming on the 13th, but I think he's bringing his Tyranids. Johnny V, Monkey, say hi Paul then in November. When can I actually play Orcs? On this schedule, I might be able to get an Orcs game in. Unless someone brings Orcs, I might be able to get an Orcs in December. But if someone brings Orcs, I haven't got Ultramarines. If someone brings Ultramarines on one of those, I can bring the Orcs. Because I book in advance. Like, boom. Because then I know what's happening next week, the week after, the month after. It just makes my life so much easier. If I didn't have a booking, like next week, then she'll be panicking. I want to see the Siege of Kiev. Okay. Well, yes, thank you for all your donations. Stick around. There will be Ultramarines versus Orcs at some point. I think the last time I did Ultramarines versus Orcs was Pootle. With his, did you see that one, Wojciech? With his OG led Firstborn Ultramarines, because we were talking about Firstborn there, weren't we? About all the stuff that's going to let... He brought his things. Where are we? There are some great community... Yes. What's tomorrow's battle report? Tomorrow's battle report. Did I edit that one? Yes, I did. Tomorrow's battle report on Winter's Wednesday. So for Tier 3 channel members, tomorrow you get to look forward to a 3,000 point battle report of a full-on Deathwing 3000 points. So we're talking all the Terminators, 3 Land Raiders, lots of Deathwing Knights, lots of Deathwing Terminators, triple Land Raiders, and Azrael, and the Lion. All of that. And so up against it, I throw in... It's really cool. The list looks really cool, by the way. It's like Land Raider Redeemer. I think it's one of each Land Raider, or was it 2 Godhammer pattern ones and Land Raider Redeemer? Triple Land Raiders. Deathwing Knight. It looks so cool. 2 big units of Deathwing Knights. I was terrified of them. Rightly so. Azrael, terrifying. The Lion, terrifying. It was a scary list. A chonky meatball. So we do a narrative battle report on this world that is getting troubled by Necrons. And I bring along the Necrons, the Shatter Dynasty, with a Monolith and the Nightbringer. And then the Awakened Dynasty Necrons with 2 big chonky chunks of warriors, 2 big chonky chunks of destroyers and Scorpec destroyers, like an OG tight list. Someone like last week said, we're going to see the Monolith again. Turns out tomorrow, on Wednesday, you get to see that one. And that one's really good. That's tomorrow. That's the one tomorrow. I don't know what's happening Saturday or Sunday. That's the one. Did you see the mini wargaming video about how views of battle reports are changing? I didn't see the mini wargaming video of how viewers of battle reports are changing. But about viewers of battle reports changing all the time. I mean, there's Generation Z now, and I don't think they've ever seen a video longer than 2 minutes, right? Like the kids starting today. When they're risen up, they're gangster homies. Is that words? When they're, doing... I can't communicate with the Gen Z. There might even be a Gen Z. If you're in the chat and you're Gen Z, let me know. I come in peace. And if you're in the VOD squad and you're watching this afterwards and you're Gen Z... Tell your Gen Z friends I mean no harm. It's like, it's a different planet they live on. I don't think they've watched a video longer than 2 minutes. YouTube shorts are definitely the ways to go. Viewership changing all the time. I don't know what people like anymore. I only know what I like. And what I like is battle reports, playing 40k, enjoying the hobby, filming it, putting it out there, and putting it out, like flopping it on the table for other people to give a nice taste to. And if they like the taste, then there you go. And if they don't like the taste, then there you go. YouTube's a big place. When I started doing the 40k stuff, like 10 years ago, there were no lore videos like Luton and all that. There were no painting videos as well and how to. It was all like battle reports and rules, battle reports, rules, battle reports, rules. And now they're the least viewed on the whole of the YouTube. Above that is the hobby videos like Midwinter Minis and Squidmar and all other hobby videos. Then above that are the lore videos. They're the ones that get the most views. And they didn't even exist when I started. Because if you're into the hobby, you can watch some lore stuff. You can enjoy the lore, like Brickies, like the 40k universe, all the factions. That's a really good one. Another really good one is like the history of everything by Traz the Infinite. I put a couple in my community thread. So the big lore videos, loads of views, millions of views, because you don't even need to buy a miniature to enjoy them. Big views. And then all the painting stuff, and then battle report actually playing is that. Yeah, it's just, YouTube has changed a lot since I started, and it'll change again and again and again, and hopefully I can keep doing this as a job. I keep waiting for it to be over. I'm going back to work, getting a job at McDonald's or something. But it isn't over yet. I'm still here, and you're still here watching this. So I really appreciate it. It's amazing that, yeah. I keep waiting for the dream to end. It hasn't ended. Maybe next year. We'll see. I mean, I like McDonald's. I could eat cheeseburger all day. A Royale with cheese. I could work there. Where are we? Gen Z. Anyone in the Gen Z? What's the VOD squad? The VOD squad is people who watch this as a VOD after, because right now, VOD, right now, this is a live stream, and people who watch it afterwards, after the live, they're in the VOD squad. It's a VOD, apparently. Any Gen, what? That's very American, what I'm talking about. Rizzing up their gangster homies. Yeah. I think that's I think that is definitely Gen Z talk, I think. Speaking of large games, that 40k scale adaptive attack, yes. Yes, 40k scale adaptive, yes. Yes. Gotcha. Right, good. We're just clarifying it. No Gen Z. Anyway, if you're in the VOD squad and you are a Gen Z, hello. Hi. How are you doing? Yeah. Let's talk about career choices. You don't need a career if you're Gen Z. All you need is a smile on your face, a good attitude, and plenty of biscuits. You'll get a long way. Wojciech, stop donating. Thank you. I'm doing a great job. Thank you. That's many donos. Where are we? I thought Space Marine 2 would bring some people to the hobby, but saw it in real life the other day. 3 young scamps buying a combat patrol each in my local store and saying it was after playing the video game. There you go. I know people, I've spoken to people and played with people, and they've been on the channel who said, I got into this hobby because of Dawn of War. Hellstorm Wargaming, Mikey from Hellstorm Wargaming, great YouTube channel, check it out. He got into the hobby because of Dawn of War. So that's a conversation that I've had with multiple people, and it will be a conversation that you have with multiple people down at your local gaming store in a couple of years' time, or at a tournament or a thing. You'll be, how did you get into that? What do you collect? Raven Guard. When did you start? Well, I played Space Marine 2. You're going to have that conversation as well. It's a conversation that we're going to have in the future. It's going to get a lot of people into the hobby. How many? Don't know. See, Pierre M. I got into Dawn of War because of what? That's the other way round. Oh, dear. I built a Blood Ravens army due to Dawn of War. Yes. Yes. Well, there's a lot of Blood Ravens army in Space Marine 2's, not Blood Ravens army. I see quite a few Blood Ravens represented in Space Marine 2 as well. Wojciech says, people start donating! ! Lol. I'm not going to argue with that. Yo Winters, what's your opinion on the current Tyranids in 10th? They're kind of sucky. YouTube is freaking out. Are we still here? Thumbs up in the chat, or hell yeah in the chat if we're still here. Are we still here? I tell you, YouTube is... things are flashing at me on the screen. Are we stuttering? There's a yes, a hell yeah. Wraith Raider is not here, so we're still here. It must be up my end then. Okay, everything up my end is getting a bit thing. Yeah, Tyranids right now. That was the question. Yo, Tyranids, what's your opinion on current Tyranids in 10th edition? Kind of sucky, to be honest. They're not very good at anti-tank. The best way to anti-tank with Tyranids is run up and actually crack stuff open with your claw, so you need to get there, because their biggest anti-tank guns are so swingy, like on the Tyrannifex, or you can go Zone Thropes with the Neuro Tyrant, and that'll help them out. Boom, that helps them out for their ranged anti-tank. But apart from that, they don't really have much ranged anti-tank. So you need to run up and punch it. But here's the big thing about Tyranids. They lost a lot of flavor. They used to play differently to other armies. You know, like Necrons still play differently to other armies because they get up again. Dark Elder still play differently to other armies because they're so squishy and so fast. Grey Knights play different to other armies because they're zipping around all over the place, teleport or shunt. They actually feel quite fun. Tyranids, Synapse used to be very important for where you place stuff, and they used to have a psychic phase. And the success or failure of the psychic phase could often sway a game one way or the other way, and Synapse and breaking that was a thing. But now it's just bigger and smaller monsters with bigger and smaller hitboxes, and the psychic phase is just baked into their core rules. So they feel very different from what they played before. If you want to play monsters with bigger and smaller hitboxes, Tyranids is for you. But you could do that with Space Marines as well, because a tank's got a bigger hitbox, and then a dreadnought, then a squad. It's, you know, it's... They need to go away and have a look at how Tyranids function, I think. That's my 2 cents. What do you think? What do you think? They have so little personality, but that's all of 10th. I think the +1 strength when in synapse range is a step in the right direction. Right. +1 strength is a nice... Jackus Woods, thank you for your donation. I very much appreciate you. Here you go, Wojciech. You said more donations, and Jackus Woods has stepped up with a £20 donation. GG's in the chat. GG's in the chat for Jackus Woods, please, guys. GG's. Don't mention the loft, he says. She doesn't want me mentioning the loft. She doesn't want to talk about it. She doesn't want to mention it. She says it feels a bit too much like begging. And she's got a point. We don't mention the loft anymore. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's a lot of money. Wojciech, stop donating. That's like 40 quid you've chucked in now. You need to... Thank you so much. 2020, thank you for your donation as well. GG's to Wojciech as well. Okay, now seriously, what's the next Primarch coming back? I'm asking because I like to build my Space Wolves army. Constantine Valdor. He'll be the next one. I know you're going to say it doesn't count. So I don't know. It could be Dawn. It could be Corax. It could be the Khan. It could be Vulcan. The easiest one to bring back is Vulcan. The easiest one, they just bring him back. So, apart from Valdor, I don't know. GG's, I like the horses. Yeah, the yellow, yeah. I know, Constantine Valdor coming back would be so cool. So cool. Yes, the Guard Codex should be okay because their orders mechanic actually kind of works. It makes sense. They've got to be in a certain range or you need a Vox. I like the orders mechanic. That's a nice orders. That's a nice thing. That works. It gives them flavor, helps them play a little bit differently. You know what I mean? So I'm cautiously optimistic for the Guard Codex as well because you can have the drop things, surely. You know, the kill team drop things are probably going to turn up. And I think they're going to be leaning into... I said it in the last edition. I said, hey, Krieg, Cadius cracked. It's all going to be about Krieg going forward. And I was wrong. But hear me out. I think I was ahead of my time. I think when the Guard Codex comes out, it's going to be all about Krieg. Because Cadius God. So it's going to be all about Krieg. And I still might be a little bit ahead of my time. It might be the next edition when the Krieg... But it's going to be about Krieg. They're going to lean to Krieg. Rembrandt, welcome to the 13th Tier 3, my friend. Welcome. Thank you for joining the 13th Fleet. You absolute legend. Enjoy all the members' videos. There's a lot of members' videos to watch. And there's the Necromunda in there. A couple of campaigns to win there. And tomorrow, every Winter's Wednesday, a membership... battle thing, win videos on Wednesdays. Tomorrow, 3,000 point battle report between Deathwing and Necrons, and it's a good one. Orders are great because they're very easy to pick up and learn. Yes. Yeah, they'll make it. That's why I'm saying Valdor, because of the prior trilogy. Yes, that's why I'm saying that. No, it's not Dawn. The Yellow King is not Dawn. Literally, the last 2 words in the book are Constantine Valdor. Mind you, that is coming from the words of a madman who stared too long at celestial constellations in the warp and made him blind and mad. So he could be a little bit, 13th Astra Militarum. The 13th Militarum, I haven't got enough for a 2,000 point thing, but I've been thinking about that as well. Having said that, the stuff that I've got for the 13th Militarum is old. Things are getting legended, and we're talking about legends, and, I think Cadians are going to be around forever, by the way, Woodsy, while I mention it. Cadians, just like Voistrans, just like Mordian Iron Guards, just like the Valhallans, you can field them, you can da-da-da, but I think their poster boys going forward probably be the Kriegers. Either this edition or next edition. What about the Blood Angel with the real wings? He's a Blood Angel. What the heck is he? He's a Blood Angel with grown wings. It's a possibility. I mean, you got the Sanguinor. He's got wings. You got Sanguinius. He's got wings. Given enough time gestating away, some of them might grow wings. Like the Space Marines take on some of the characteristics of Papa, right? So Kurz could see into the future a little bit, and you've got Sevatar could see into the future a little bit. You've got Vulcan Lives, Perpetual, and then you got Numenon, who was a Perpetual. I mean, they don't spell it out, but he clearly was. They take on some of the things of their fathers over time. Magnus and the Psykers, very obvious one to draw conclusions to there. Korax and those who can Wraith Walk, the Raven Guard who can Shadow Slip, that thing. Remember, all the Primarchs aren't 100% of this material plane. They've all got a little bit of woozlemy thingamajig. They've all got a bit of, what is the word? Warp, fire from the gods. They've got a bit of flavour in. They're not 100% atoms, are they? And therefore, all the Space Marines are basically heretics. All of them. They've got chaos in them. All of them. But then chaos is not 100% bad either. I know, don't shoot me as a heretic. Chaos can be good or bad. It can be good or bad. It's a manifestation of you. Like the Emperor. The Emperor does the Psyker things. Navigators, astropaths do the things. The Warp is okay if you know what your librarians, sanctioned Psykers. The Warp is okay if you know what you're doing. If you've been to a course and you've got your bronze thing and you've swum to the bottom of the pool and you picked up a brick, you're good. But don't swim deeper into the pool because then it will consume you. Wojciech, thank you for another donation, you legend. Stop it now. Explain how Valdor is badass. Yes. I know he was made by the Emperor centuries before Primarchs. Do you think Valdor can take down a Primarch like King Wolf? Explain. Do I think Valdor can take down a Primarch? First up, there's lots of different Primarchs. Lorgar's a bitch. Valdor can take him down. I think anyone could take down Lorgar. Easy. So Valdor can take down... And in the Alfarius book, Valdor does go toe-to-toe with Alfarius. Sort of. And that's a bit of a stalemate between him and Alfarius. And Alfarius isn't known for his kung fu fighting. So Valdor versus Primarchs. I mean, it's a bit like a Space Marine versus Thunder Warriors. Here's the thing. In the Outcast Dead, there's 2 Thunder Warriors that turn up and they destroy like 5 of the Outcast Dead. And the Outcast Dead are the Praetors, the Captains, the best of the best, or some of the best of the best, that were on Terra, the Crusader host, following the Emperor around. The Emperor, when he did, for those that don't know, the Emperor, when he did the Great Crusade, some Space Marines became his honor guard, the Crusader host from all of the different various legions. Not always the same person, but often the best of the best. It was a delirious honor to stand side by side and fight with the Emperor in his honor guard, Crusader host, things like that. And then 2 Thunder Warriors dicked a bunch of them in the Outcast Dead. So Thunder Warriors better than Space Marines in one-on-one combat. Thunder Warriors just absolute murder machines. They're hammers, they're grenades, they're thing. Whereas Space Marines got a bit more brains than that and doesn't have all the cancers. So one-on-one, yeah, just like so better. But Thunder Warrior isn't necessarily better than a Space Marine. So Thunder Warriors were the tool that he needed to pacify and unify Terra, but were not the tool that he wanted or needed to pacify and unify the stars. Valdor and the Primarchs different. Valdor is, and the Custodies are made differently to how the Space Marines are made. Valdor is a badass. But he's not as big, as tall, as fast, and as warpy with the whatchamacallit from Moloch inside him as the Primarchs. So Valdor mono in a fight versus the fighty Primarchs like Sanguinius, like Horus, like Dawn, like the Lion, he would probably get his ass slapped. But he is a G, and he has got a spear that's telling him some truths that he doesn't want to know for 10,000 years. He's going to be a changed man when he comes back, just like when we meet Dawn again after the end of the death. Dawn before to Dawn after, not the same person. It's a very interesting dynamic. I want to see where they go with it. Where are we? Anyway, there's my answer to the thing. Never underestimate Lorgar Ascended. Screw Lorgar, screw his Ascended. I do underestimate him. No. Even Curse, the failure that is Curse, the self-suicide, the only Primarch to self-commit suicide, essentially. That's how much of a failure he was. Spat on Lorgar's face on the killing fields of Isfahan 5 and said, "You disgust me." And that's the only thing anyone needs to know about Lorgar. Vulcan coming back makes sense because Vulcan lives. Yeah, baby. I hope they wait for Vulcan and give Salamanders custom models when he comes out. See? Do you think the Wolf could take... Yeah, Lemanarus could take down Valdor, yeah. The fighty ones are really fighty for a reason. I've done... How am I getting on with Gaunt's Ghost audiobooks? Smashed them. Did them all. I'm doing the End and the Death on audio again. I'm about 5 hours from the end of number 2. Doing it again. But yeah, Gaunt's Ghost on Audible. Fantastic. Except for when they changed the narrator. Horrible. But still worth listening to all the way through, because Gaunt's Ghost is one of the greatest series ever written of all time ever. It's up there with Firefly, in my opinion. Wow, I know. Firefly. Probably the greatest TV show on earth ever. Or Band of Brothers. Band of Brothers, Firefly. Which one is better? I mean, do we have to choose? Isn't it nice that we live in a world where there is Band of Brothers and there is Firefly? Valdor even mentioned at one point they should have destroyed the Primarch. Oh yeah, good evening, Weasel. Valdor all the way through was like, nah, you were a mistake. We should have destroyed the Primarchs. Nah, you were a mistake. He said that he said it to he said it to Malcador, he said it to the Emperor, he said it to the Primarchs themselves. You should have never happened. This is a terrible idea. See, Firefly, greatest ever. And I'm of the opinion that the Webway project was the primary. I did the rant before about there's 20 Primarchs, right? And only some of them were supposed to come out of the gestation pods. Most of them, he was just going to farm for gene seed. Because after they got scattered across the galaxy, he had the gene seed and made Space Marines with them. I think once they were scattered across the galaxy and woken up, it's like, well, they're alive now. But I don't think it was the original plan. I think some of them were clearly supposed to come out of the gestation pod. Like Magnus was clearly meant to sit on the Golden Throne. Guilliman was clearly meant to lead the Great Crusade. Horus was clearly meant to be the politician and probably run the High Terror, the Council of Terror, stuff like that. Some of them that were clearly meant to be awake. But some of them, like Angron, Mortarion, Sanguinius, the chargy, I'm going to rip your face off types, they probably weren't even meant to come out of the gestation pods, and especially the two that no one mentions. I think that was the original plan. You didn't need awake Primarchs, except for a couple, because he was a bit lonely and Erda said he did. Band of Brothers, pretty much the 40k. Gaunt's Ghost, pretty much the Band of Brothers 40k. It is indeed. Angron would have been fine without its environment. Angron and the Word Bearers, World Eaters, the Warhounds, they were all about brotherhood. Before he had the nails in, brotherhood. The Warhounds were so hard into brotherhood and togetherness, and one, they shoved the nails into their head just to be like daddy, and two, you know how Khan, like the story of Khan, like they sent 7 captains in beforehand and Angron killed them all, and then Khan went in there and went, I guess it's my turn now. And Khan is just like, yeah, you can throw me against the wall, you can rip my arm, you can do whatever. I'm not going to fight you. I am yours to command. And if you want to break me, then that story, because Khan was a loyalist, sort of. He was 100% loyal to his, and the World Eaters, the warhounds, like dogs, like loyal hunting dogs. They were as loyal and brotherly and as you needed to be, and you don't need a Primarch for that. In fact, the Primarch kind of screwed the whole thing up. But the Primarch screwing the whole thing up just could show how forgiving the Emperor is. He's so forgiving. There's only 2 that he threw off a cliff and said, nope, you ain't coming back, you 2. We're not talking about you anymore. Even Angron, he said, well, yeah. Well, he didn't say anything, did he? He sort of ripped him off of the Nineveh in New Syria, ripped him off, chucked him on the Conqueror and went, there you go. Didn't really have a conversation with him. He's the only Primarch that didn't have the oath of moment, the bonding ceremony with the Emperor, because the Emperor already knew everything he needed to know about Angron. It's like, yep, off you go. Yeah, he didn't want him. Didn't want him awake. Didn't need him awake. Why would you ever want Sanguinius running around out there? Terrible idea. Until he is running around out there, and then you better make sure he's a good guy. Hi, Mitch, not Keith or Rob. What a great name. Steve, not Rob, is coming next weekend, so yeah. Pretty sure he's a demon-ridden Primarch hard to lawmaker on the wall. Korax, yeah, I'm fine for any neighborhood Inquisitor, thanks. Korax he did hunt Lorgar once. It is in the book, and it's in one of the Primarch anthology books. I forget which one. And he has a go against Lorgar. He is a demon, raven, thingy-bob made of night. He's embraced his inner warp bit. They've all got a bit of warp in them. All of them. A bit of warp in them. A bit of fire from the gods. Who's the 13th Primarch? Who knows? Many different Marines from many different chapters inhabit the 13th. But they say that 50% of the Space Marines out there are descendant of Ultramarines. Half of all Space Marines come from the Ultramarines lines. That's what they say. And who am I to argue against they? They say a lot of things. You got the Minotaurs, though, on the other hand, who are probably World Eaters. And also the High Lords of Terror, biatches. Yes, mate. Mitch, not Keith or Rob. You're coming to the March of Winters. Mitch, not Keith or Rob. Introduce yourself when you get there. We've got name tags ready to go. And you have to put Mitch, not Keith or Rob on there. There's no point in putting... See? What is the Dark King, in your opinion? This is a good one. Strap yourselves in for this, guys. No more questions. Don't distract me with chats and with the donations, or no one become a member. No one become a member. I need to focus on this because I'm waiting for a law person at some point to do a video on the Dark King and do it correctly. Stop talking. He's not related to the King in the Yellow. He's dark. We've got to get through this. So what is the Dark King in your opinion? In the End of the Death, at the end of the Siege of Terror, there's this story arc that comes about called the Dark King, and it's the death of Thanks to the £10 donation. Did Lion, 1st Legion Primarch meet with the Emperor? Yes. Lion, they all met with the Emperor. They all did their oath of moment. They all had a mind melding ceremony. You actually get to see the bit where the Lion meets the Emperor in, I forget the book, but it's a thing and it does happen, yes. The Dark King. Thank you for your donation. Yes. So it's a storyline that comes up at the end of this End in the Death, the Siege of Terror, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now, the Eldar mask comes to Ulthwé and the Harlequins dance because it is the end and Eldrad Ulthwen, Eldrad is chatting to some other Eldar when the Harlequins dance on Ulthwé. And it's the first time they've done the dance in 5,000 years. And it's the dance of the birth of Slaanesh and the death of a species. The Harlequins are announcing the species' death, extinction, genocide, and the birth of a new chaos god. Plot twist, the Harlequin at the end says, no, it's the dance of the Dark King, not the rise of Slaanesh. Point 1. Point 2. Sammas talks about the Dark King. And so does Lorgar. And so do, I forget who else, but there's a couple of other baddies on that side that talk about the Dark King. And Malkador talks about it on this side. And then Araman, somewhere in the middle, also talks about the Dark King. So you've got good guys and bad guys and a little bit of grey in the middle, all talking about this Dark King prophecy, as well as the Eldar. So, what is the Dark King? What is it all about? And they all say the same thing, by the way. When Sammas talks about it and Malkador talks about it and the people in the middle talk about it, they all say the same thing. And they say that any suitably advanced psychic species in the 40k verse, any suitably advanced psychic species will lead to its own extinction. And this last happened to the Eldar and the birth of Slaanesh. And before then, it happened to the Old Ones. And the screwiness that we have with the warp now, because before the Old Ones, the realm of chaos used to be a bit of the warp, and now the realm of chaos permeates all the warp after the second war in heaven. Basically, in the 40k verse, if you're a suitably advanced psychic species, you will eventually destroy yourself because of the warp. Last time this happened, a new god was born, and the time before that when it happened, look what we have, and there could be other occasions like that. And the Dark King is the apotheosis of a story arc regarding the human race. The human race, the myth of the Dark King, has lasted since Cain and Abel, has lasted since Arthur, it's lasted since the dawn of time, they talk about. It's the idea that the human species eventually will lead to its own extinction, just like the Eldar did. And we need a lore person to make a proper video about it, because the plot twist that Dan Abnett doesn't hammer home, it's just a plot twist. The forces of chaos were trying to bring about the manifestation of the Dark King in either the Emperor or in Horus. They didn't care who. The whole galaxy in flames, the galaxy burnt, the whole thing that chaos was trying to do all along was bring about the fifth chaos god, Malak, the god of death, the god of the end and the death, the god of... that was what was supposed to have been born, just like Slaanesh being born. And this thing is manifesting, is percolating in the warp, just like Slaanesh existed in the warp before it was born in real space. Slaanesh's manifestation in real space was its birth in the materium, but obviously gods in the warp are eternal and existed in the warp even before it existed in the materia. See, this is why I need a law person to do it. I need to write down a script. I need to get it in my head properly. But basically, humanity was supposed to get wiped out. At the end of the Great Crusade, humanity was supposed to get wiped out. And Horus, or the Emperor, was supposed to become the Dark King. One or the other, doesn't matter who. And there is the ripping open of real space below the Golden Throne on Terra, another, just like the Maelstrom, just like the Eye of Terror, just like another part of the galaxy would have been ripped open, humanity's homeworld destroyed, the galaxy is in flames, we're all dead, Dark King consumes all our souls, the end. That's what Chaos was trying to do. They weren't trying to kill the Emperor, they weren't trying to kill Horus, they were trying to bring about the apotheosis of the Dark King. And that's why they were very, very, very upset when it didn't happen. And that's why after it didn't happen, they were like, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him. Any suitably advanced psychic species in the 40k verse brings about its own species extinction because of the warp. And the Emperor of Mankind, no. Alanius Pearson stopped that happening. The first War Master, the oldest living perpetual that we know of, stopped that happening and saved mankind. And we've been locked in 10,000 year stalemate on the verge of species extinction ever since. Epilogue. One of the permutations, configurations that Malcador and the Emperor spoke of would have been this permutation configuration. And maybe, I mean, he obviously didn't want it to happen, blah, 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 but maybe there was a long plan that if we got locked at this stalemate position, then after 10,000 years of psychic awakening, after 10,000 years, the birth of faith, the power of faith, which even works in the prior nexus, the return of the Primarchs, the return of the demon Primarchs, maybe after slamming the brakes on her, eventually there was a way out of this. Maybe. Who knows? Anyway, the old ones got wiped out, too psychically aware. The elder got wiped out, too psychically aware. We were supposed to get wiped out, too psychically aware. That's what it was, the Horus Heresy at that level was about. At the basic level, the Horus Heresy is daddy issues in space. That's what it is on the basic level. But there's levels above that and levels above that. And the greater war that the Emperor and the Forces of Chaos have been fighting for 20,000 years is no more or less than the annihilation of the entire human race across the galaxy, which nearly happened, except for Alanius Pearson. What a legend. So, yeah, that's the thing. You can talk to me again now. You can chat to me again. You can put the donations and things back. Yes. And thank you. That deserves a membership, I think. I think that deserves... We have a membership goal this evening of 1. That deserves a membership. I think so. Ah, dear. Stranger come knocking. Hi. What about the rebirth of the King of Gods? More Orc games. That was some deep lore. Loved it. Yeah, so you need a... Yeah. Yeah, we need a lore person to talk about that more and pill out all the bit. But yeah, because people think the Horus Heresy is the beginning, middle, and end of the war between the Emperor and the Chaos Gods, but it isn't. It is a footnote in a long chapter which started 20,000 years ago. You know what I mean? Until the cosmic heaters of the universe, that is, no one's escaping, and that's not... Yeah, I mean, Nurgle always wins in the end, right? Cosmic heat, death, entropy, Nurgle. Papa Nurgle loves you because we all go to Papa Nurgle in the end. I love the fact that you guys are just chatting away to each other in the chat. It's nice. Chatting. It's nice. I am the law. I could be that guy, but I could be the guy that writes the video, yes. But someone will get, I mean, Luton or Remembrance of Thingy Bob, they'll get there in the end. Someone will get there in the end and do a really good job on it. I mean, Luton's done like 5 videos on the Emperor of Mankind. And one of them he just talks about time forever. Luton will get there. He will get there. Can't believe the Horus Heresy spoilers. I'm only on book 2. I have no idea how it'll end. It hits an iceberg and it sinks. That's how it ends. I love the setting of 40k, but it sucks it can never actually conclude in any meaningful way. No, well, it's a soap opera, and soap operas never end. It won't end. What you get is stories. Like the first Tyrannic War is an awesome story. The Betrayal of Kauth, an awesome story. The Fall of Cadia, an awesome story. A Devastation of Baal, you get stories. And then the overall, it's never going to end. And I don't want it to end. It can't conclude. I haven't been on the stream for a couple of weeks. Did the new dice get agreed? You have to talk to my assistant about that one. Where are we? We all know Chaos, Orcs, Nids, Necrons are the only factions you can truly win. No, Nurgle will win. Necrons, Tyranids will win in the shorter term. I don't know who's going to win. Like, see, the thing about the Tyranids is we could be surrounded. All the galaxies that you see in the night sky could all be crawling with Tyranids and every single one of them consumed. Imagine in our local globular, imagine if our little galaxy here and all the galaxies around have all been eaten. Imagine if it's that big. How grimdark do you want to get? Say it's like Dead Space, the video game. Everything outside of our galaxy has been wiped out. And there's only this little bit left. Then that's the Tyranids. How do you beat that? We don't know how big it is. It could be huge. And the only species that has ever conquered the galaxy is the Necrons. The Elder have taken control of the galaxy once the Necrons went to sleep, but they never... I mean, they inherited a pretty genocided... there was not much biomass left, which is why the Necrons went to sleep, because they couldn't do the transference thing, because there was nothing to transfer into, and the only Eldar that survived really were hanging out in the webway. And, they inherited a pretty clean universe because the Necrons slip banged it. They controlled the galaxy. They're the only species that we know have done that. So they might have a chance against the Tyranids, but the Silent King definitely thinks the Tyranids are the worst threat, which is why he bro pumps with the Blood Angels, doesn't he? Weasel, 18 months, thank you. What are the Tyranids running from? Exactly. That's the other thing. Maybe they're not just the apex predator. Maybe there's a nastier predator behind the predator. And then behind what thing is the thing that the Tyranids are running from? So the Tyranids are running from a thing which is really nasty, but behind the thing is another thing chasing the thing that's chasing the Tyranids, which is then chasing the Tyranids. Behind the Tyranids is another thing, the 5th thing. Behind the thing, it's probably someone who chews with their mouth open. Disgusting. Mind you, the Tyranids chews with their mouth open. Anyone who chews with their mouth open, as far as I'm concerned, should be thrown into a volcano, including Tyranids. It's just, ugh. It's nasty. So who is behind the thing, behind the Tyranids behind the thing? Who knows? There could be, how deep does the Russian doll go? All the way, yes, we don't know. Tyranids could, but then, Tyranids, on the other hand, they could instead just be misunderstood. Maybe they just want hugs. Maybe they just want to, once they've eaten enough, they'll go and lie down like a very well-fed cat on a nice world somewhere and go, now we're done now. Maybe they get to like half of the galaxy full, go for a lie down, go for a nice nap. Maybe. Tyranids are running from hunger. Why do we assume they're running away from something? You see, that's because you don't know. It could be running. It could be we don't. Dead tyranids become slurry. Yes, dead tyranids, any kind of bio thing, all gets rotted down in the gestation pools. Gestation pools, think of them as massive, massive swimming pools and large lakes of acid, which burns everything, and you get these capillary towers of bone coming up from them, forming around the steam. It starts forming at the edge of the lake, solidify like salt, and then it gets higher and higher and higher and higher, and it pipes all this stuff from the acid pool up back into the hive ship in orbit, low orbit, suckling on the atmosphere, and sucks it all up, whether it's a tyranid, whether it's your nan, whether it's anything really, the fluff that you find in your belly button, all that, tyranid food. Open pit stomach. So the whole planet is like a pussy pool, teenager's acne face. It's horrible. It's like that, and it's all bursting all over the place and getting sucked off by suckling hive ships in orbit. Lovely. Great image. Damn Legion. Hey Winter, hope you're having a good stream. It's nice, yeah, thanks. Having fun with your amazing community and keep up the great work. Thanks, Damn Legion. Appreciate you. Yeah, it is an amazing community who I'm looking forward to seeing about 100 of them on Sunday for March of Winters 2. That's why we've got these. Anyone who's coming to March of Winters 2, we've got these. The missions, if anyone who is coming in the VOD squad or anyone's listening to this, who's coming to March of Winters, 3 games. Each of them is 1,111 points. That should give you some idea of how serious we're going with this. Mission 1, squig game. Dodgeball with squigs. Mission 2, cat herder. You're going to be herding cats. Mission 3, when everyone's brain is a bit fried in the afternoon, murder bowl. Nice, basic, simple murder bowl. Mission 1, squig game. If you're bringing a lot of tanks along and you can't pick up a squig, you're going to be in trouble. So I'm just throwing out, you might want to change your list. You need arms and hands to carry squigs. The cat herding, a bit easier. You can slam one in the back of a rhino, no problem. But the squigs, on the other hand, dodgeball with squigs, remarkably tricky if you've just got tentacles or aeroplanes. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. I'll be going up on Saturday afternoon to Element Games in Manchester, Stockport, Manchester. And I've got a game lined up with marchofwar.co.uk. But I should have enough time for a second game or lots of beer. So I'm looking forward to the beer. I'm looking forward to playing. And then the next day, 3 games, 1,111 points, birthday. My 1,1st birthday, that thing, and it should be fun. I've got this. I've got, what else have I got? I've got the raffle books. There's about £700 worth of Games Workshop products and some battle mats next door, ready to go. James is adding some stuff. I'm looking forward to it. Where are we? Yeah, I've got 1,000 squigs over here as well. That Badger King painted. 2 boxes of squigs in there on Tiddlywinks. Painted squigs on Tiddlywinks. That's 20. That's 20 more. Yeah. For playing squig game with. Don't roll any ones when you're picking them up or throwing them. Just don't roll a 1. You can't, if someone remind me on the day, because there will be someone in the chat who's here. I haven't written it in the rules, but no CP rerolls on the 1s on squigs, picking them up or throwing them or anything. Remind me that. On the day, whoever you are watching this, come up to me, tap me on the shoulder, say, hey, Winters, on the Tuesday live stream, do you remember when you said no CP rerolls on the 1s in squig game when you pick them up or chuck them? And I'll go, yes! Thank you for watching the stream. Were you in the VOD squad or did you catch it live? And then we'll have the conversation and there'll be hugs and things. I'll be, yes, because I'm not going to remember that. But it will come up. Someone will say, hey, can I CP reroll grabbing a squig? I think, and I'll have to go, well, actually, I think you'll find in the 40k rulebook when it says CP reroll that you can reroll a hit or a save or a thing. It doesn't say anything about squigs, actually. I'll have to say that. And then I'll sound like a actually kind of person. And I don't want to be a actually kind of person. I want to be a yes kind of person. I want to be, go for it. Do your things. Live your life. Be your truth. Kiss the rainbow. Whatever. Do that stuff. I don't want to be the actually kind of person, but I'm going to have to be unless someone comes up to me and taps me on the shoulder and tells me to say that beforehand. So when I intro the mission, I can go, everyone, if you do roll a 1, because I'll be shouting and I'll be excited, and I'm getting excited just thinking about it. Right, okay, so if you are out there and you did what tap me, say yes, thank you. Wraith Raider says, actually, CP rerolls are only specific rolls, so you'll find, see, he's already done it, and that's what I'm going to have to say at the event. And it's not nice to say that in the middle of a room with 100 people in front of you, but here we are. Actually, ever considered donning a bowler hat? Ever considered donning... Stranger come Nottingham hobbies. Ever considered donning a bowler hat? No. I bet a Trixie Eldar player uses those accursed fate dice for a squig. No! Again, that's the other thing. No fate dice. No miracle dice for squigs. What's my favourite class in Space Marine 2? Easiest class is heavy. Bulwark is fun. The funnerest one to play is tactical. The funner because you're pretty good at shooting and you're pretty good at punching. And walking around in a tactical with a melter, easy. So I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying to level up the bolters. Stalker pattern bolt rifle I'm working on right now. And that, when you put the buffs on it, Stalker pattern bolt rifle has actually got a surprising amount of punch. It really has. But yeah, you can also fight in close combat as well with your bolter, chainsword, your good parry window. You're quite tanky. Or spec scan is OP. And when you're high rank, you can just pull it out your hat all the time with plus 75% damage, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, I mean, I can put the Hive Tyrant down hard. So tactical's fun, really fun to play. Yeah, because he's all round it. He can do a bit of everything. Yes, I go with tactical. Go with tactical. I'm doing my part. I'm getting you one. Don't get me a bowler hat. Don't want a bowler hat. Who on earth? Why would I ever wear a different hat? This is the best hat in the world ever. I don't want another hat. I'm never, ever, ever, ever going to wear another hat other than this hat. Right then, it's a bit cold outside, right? Sometimes you've got to put a different hat on, make your head feel a bit warmer. As we're getting there, it's like October, winter is coming, you know? Winter is coming. What happens if you... Look, it's got poppers on. You can actually... I can't... How do the poppers work? How does that look? Does that look okay? Should this be my new look? Go with this. Hi there. Welcome to Winter's SEO YouTube channel on this Talky Tuesday. How you doing? What armies do you collect? How long you been playing for? Is this a good look? I mean, walking down the street, Swindon High Street, Friday night with my best outfit on. Going, hey, doing my Spider-Man 3 thing. Women will be dropping like flies around me. They would love it. They'll be throwing themselves at me like flies on fly paper. What do you reckon, guys? What do we reckon? I think this looks quite classy. That's classy if you're from the north of England. And on that bombshell, let's go to the chat and see what the chat says. fold the front down as well. I'm not sure that this hat has that kind of technology in it. I want a mod for Space Marine 2 for whenever you use an Auspex scan, a sound clip that goes, hello and welcome back to Auspex Tactics. Nice. Hello and welcome back to Auspex Tactics. Hello and welcome to Ancient Artifacts. You have fallen into Event Horizon. Jean-Michel Gaudier. No more ranting though, since poppers don't preach. I don't know what? Well, they've said in Space Marine 2 there's gonna be more classes coming, and they said it isn't gonna be like a chaplain librarian or something, because they are like character, they're dudes. So what other class can they put in Space Marine 2 that's not a chaplain, an apothecary, a librarian, a tech marine? Mind you, they should definitely put in a chaplain, an apothecary, a librarian, a tech marine, a terminator. What should they put in there? I mean, they've done the Vanguard bit, they've done the Bulwark bit, they've done the tactical marine bit. What they can't put a biker in there. Desolation marine? Jumpy marines? There are. Oh, yeah. They could have. Yes. So we've got assault interceptors, but you could have jumpy marines. Yeah. You could have desolation marines. Assault, not centurions. I mean, the centurions, you could do centurions and terminators, but I find that unlikely. But definitely jump marines and desolation marines. Desolation marines with different loadouts. Jumpy marines with the bolt and the plasma. Ooh. Yeah, that'd be nice. They'd only have like. What would they have? It would literally be dual bolters or dual plasma and a jump pack. That would be epic. Biker class. They can't though on those maps, can they? Librarians and chaplains. Aggressors? They could do aggressors. There's a bulwark. There's the heavy. Aggressor! That is definitely doable. Because you've got the heavy class, you've got the bulwark, which isn't really in the thing. But with Boltstorm Gauntlets, Boltstorm Flamers, with missile, aggressors they could do. Eradicator is kind of in it already. The Eradicator is the heavy class. Or it's got a heavy bolter, heavy plasma, heavy. It's kind of in it. Double-fisted flamer. Hell yeah. I know, man. Going, how annoying is it going up against 1,000 Suns and they're flaming you? Imagine if you were giving them some of that flaming goodness back again and then delivering a power fist to the nuts. Meet my fist. It would be cool. Hellblasters, kind of in it already. You can kind of do them already. So you can do the heavy class if you want to have the plasma accelerator with a big thugunk. Or you can tactical marine it and basically you're a Hellblaster. The loadouts of the tacticals cover a lot of things. But yeah, they need more characters. And aggressors they could definitely do, and jumpy dudes they could definitely do. The special characters they could get to. We need a level 30. We need a new level. And we need a new operations mode. We need a new map. And the multiplayer, the PvP, definitely needs a new map as well. Because there's 3 modes and 3 maps. And that's it. So hopefully when Season 1 comes out, finally, we're going to get a new thing for PvP and a new thing for operations. Sly Marbo. Well, if they put Sly Mobo in the game, it's all over, isn't it? Sly Mobo, Sly Tuesday ice cream. Maybe do chapter specifics like Death Company. Death Company's in it. You can do Death Company. I mean the plate. Yeah, you can pick Death Company plate. Sly Moabo auto win. That's what I'm saying, yo. It's basically like Chuck Norrising it, innit? Put Sly Marbo in the game, you boot him up, you drop down onto a thing, and it comes up with the intro. You have to kill all the things. And then it just says victory, and you go back into the Thunderhawk, and that's it. Grey Knights. Grey Knights. Grey Knights would be really cool. You can kind of make Grey Knight armor by monkeying around in the edit armor stuff. with the faceplate, you got to do it on the heavy guy, but you can also kind of do it on the bulwark guy, but you can make it silvery and give you Inquisition knee pad on the thing, on the shin pad. And with the Aurora chapter Deathwatch shoulder pad, you can kind of make, I've seen a couple of people in Grey Knight armor, very good looking Grey Knight armor, but without the Aegis bits on. But a Grey Knight with a bolt gun, a storm, because there's no storm bolters in it. Remember, because Stormbolters, legend. Stormbolters are dying. Stormbolters are going until the Grey Knights turn up with their codex. You're talking about more Assault with Black. Okay, yeah. So a Death Company with perks. Yeah, like level 25 to 30 could be a thing. You want to play as a guardsman? You've seen what happens to the cultists in Space Marine. You don't have to shoot them. If you run in their general direction, they explode when you touch them. You don't want to be a guardsman. That's just the meat shield. You wouldn't last very long. If you do want to play a guardsman, Dark Tide is for you. Yeah, it's good. No buffs, just a lad with a lasgun. You can do that in Dark Tide. You can go on raids in Dark Tide. Dark Tide's skill ceiling, level ceiling is a lot higher than Space Marine. You got to be like cracked on the sticks to actually do the Aurora level missions at the end. It is a crazy insane. I'm very excited for a Grey Knights tabletop refresh as well. Very excited. It's going to be very exciting. We'll see. Our Games Workshop will screw up. We'll know they'll screw up. I mean, when it comes to full range refreshes or full range, the only one I can think of in recent memory that they did really well was the Sisters of Battle. When that came out, universally liked, universally well accepted, and then part 2 came out quite quickly afterwards. So now they've got quite a nice, full, well-rounded range. But you think back to like World Eaters, it's not even half a range. Leagues of Votan was, it was just Space Marines by other names. The World Eaters are lovely. I love the Lord Invocatus. I love the fact that they've got their own codex. I love the fact that you got World Eaters, awesome, and Leagues of Votan, very awesome to play with, very awesome to play against. But it feels like a bit of a miss, a swing and a miss. It feels like there's bits left out, and Votan players and World Eaters players will agree with me. There's bits left out of those books. There's gaps. There's gaps, lore gaps, and model gaps. They miss and they miss and they miss and they miss. I mean, so I'm worried what the Grey Knight refresh will do. And I hope it's more Sisters of Battle fulfilling than it is Votan, World Eaters, Imperial Agents level, which is just everyone banging their heads going, oh, why didn't you do this? Because, that thing, Yeah. Okay, bye, Wrath of Constantine. Thanks for dropping by. How long have we been going? We've been going for an hour and 20 minutes. That's a long time. I'm curious how they'll do the Emperor's Children release. Fulgrim, Lucius, we'll see. I think the Emperor's Children release is going to be along the lines of the World Eaters release. So you get a Primarch, you're going to get some Marines, you're going to get a Primarch and some characters and some Marines, and then one or two other things, and that's about it. They might you might end up having like a Helldrake or a Predator or something like what are they called? Forge Fiends, Mauler Fiends in there from the Chaos Space Marine book to bulk it out a little bit. That's what they'll do. But it'll be the Primarch and Lucius and a couple of other characters, and it'll be the Noise Marines themselves, and it'll be some cultists. And I'll be surprised if it's anything other than that. Which is terrible, because there should be a demon engine or two, just like there should be a demon engine or two in the World Eaters book. Like, unique to them, like there is for Death Guard. With bloat drones floating around all the time, or Mephitic Blight Haulers, or things like. There should be a couple of things unique to. But then the Death Guard got that as part of a launch edition in 8th edition. So if the Emperor's Children are part of a launch edition, then you might see it. But Emperor's Children, let's face it, they're never going to be the poster boys. They're never going to be part of a launch edition for a edition, because they're the Emperor's Children, and that's Slaanesh. They can lean into the excess noise. They can lean into the excess smell. They could lean into the excess don't eat too many donuts. Excess doesn't just mean boobies and sex. It doesn't just mean that. But it also means that. So they can't put Slaanesh on a poster for an 11th edition 12th. They can't do that. In the same way that you're not going to get Drukhari on an 11th edition box sets fighting Space Marines either, because those people skin puppies. You're not going to get puppy people. Mummy, I want the Drukhari. Oh yeah, I'll just check on Wikipedia and I'll just check online and find out about these. Make sure little Timmy's got the... Oh my God! They drop kittens in boiling vats of boiling water and they pull out people's eyeballs and they make pillowcases out of them. You're not going to get the Drukhari on a poster anytime soon for the entire of Warhams. You're not going to get the Emperor's Children on a poster anytime soon for the entire of Warhams. People say it's not as grim in the... It is. It's still very grim in the dark. Just not on the posters. You've got to get Timmy in first before you give him Nightmares. You know what I mean? So Death Guard, you can kind of get away with that because Death Guard is like the filth, horror, disease, bomb, dump. That Death Guard worked because people kind of... You can kind of get that. World Eaters would kind of work as well. They work. Tyranids, they kind of work. You know, that thing kind of works. But anything with boobies, nah. That ain't happening. Mind you, I do like boobies. Even when there's 3 of them. And if Fulgrim does not have a small negative trait called something like the Scar of Rylanor, I'll riot. And was the Life Eater virus? He just got away, didn't he? Kaboom. He nearly had him. I have many 3rd Legion magazines and posters in my workshop. Boobies. 3rd edition box set of Templars versus Dark Eldar got me into the game. Yeah, well, that's back in the day. Templars versus Dark Eldar back in the day. You're right. It was on a box. Yes. I take back everything I said. I'm completely wrong. I'm sorry. No. Definitely in the next edition, it's going to be Night Lords skinning babies on the cover with Space Marines. Baby pandas. I mean, you need to skin the pandas, right? We need to eat pandas. Then they wouldn't go extinct. You know how many cows there are around here? And sheep and pigs? Because we eat them. We need to eat the pandas. I wonder what they taste like. Anyway, if we ate pandas, there'd be a load of them everywhere. Pandas everywhere. Tasty panda. Kung Fu panda. Kung Pao panda in noodles with some kitten's eyeballs served up by a Night Lords on the cover, 11th edition. Chicken. They taste like chicken. That's because the computers forgot what everything tasted like. Every Night Lord's launch box is wrapped in an authentic human skin leather. Beautiful. Beautiful. Just tuned in. What's going on? We're talking about eating pandas and human skin leather for codexes. Thanks, Brando. Thanks for jumping in. Human math. If we kill them, there'll be more of them. If we kill them, there'll be more of them. Yeah, I mean, if we eat them, if we eat the pandas, there'll be pandas everywhere. The animals we eat, they're everywhere. The animals we don't eat, they're on a reserve somewhere. Right? That's how it works. That's how it works. Except for the ones that are like cats and things and dogs. We don't eat them. Well, not here, but you can. You know, yeah. Look, there's over there, like a field away, I can see the cows. I can't see koala bears because we don't eat the koala bears. But if we ate the koala bears and they were climbing those trees there, they'd be all over the place, koala bears. You know, gator tastes like chicken. I think I've had kangaroo. I don't think have I ever had gator? What did the pandas ever do for us? Exactly. Pandas did sod all for anyone. Did you know that they're permanently drunk? Pandas, because they're like meat eaters. See, they got the sharp, pointy, nasty, pointy teeth. you know, they got their, they should be living in a cave and jumping on the knights that say, nee. They've got sharp, they're carnivores. They should be eating all the meat. But at some point in their evolution, they start eating this bamboo thing. They started eating the bamboo, and it ferments in their stomach and gets them drunk. So they're permanently pissed all the time. And they're alcoholics. They're a whole species of alcoholics. So they deserve, to be put on farms all over the world, and we eat them. They can be pissed up all the day, all the time. You don't have to feel bad about it. Because, they're drunk. They're having a great time. So, yeah. Yeah, the bamboo makes them drunk. See, John Patel is reading the same things on the internet that I've been reading, and the internet never lies. Our Common Ancestry. There's someone in the chat called Our Common Ancestry. Do you know about the ancestry of pandas? Did you know that they're all drunk? Did you guys hear that? I just farted. And on that bombshell, this is your 2-minute warning. Winter's showing us how to eat bamboo and telling us he's coming. What? Yeah, 2-minute warning. It's been good. I'm a Detroit Lions fan all of a sudden. I want to see them do well. They did well at the weekend. They're doing well. I mean, Denver really, but Denver are crap these days. So I've been following them for so long, and they haven't been good since John Elway. But the Lions, they're doing really well. So hats off to them. Well done, Lions. Miami ain't doing shit without, now their quarterback is a bit screwed. Good to see Cousins doing well at Minnesota as well. I like that guy. So that's going well, sports fans. So that's happening over there. Sugar Sean O'Malley lost his title at the Sphere. That kind of sucks because I kind of like him. But he's been doing a bit of Warzone with Zelander on the YouTube. So I caught a bit of that. And he's cracked on the sticks. So well done, Sugar Sean. I mean, you don't need me to say that because, you're a multi-millionaire. But, yeah. So that's good. We've got the March of Winters on the Sunday. I've got some tanks here that I finished. I've done a Predator Squadron for the Iron Hands. Tanks in Heresy are strong. They're weak if you bring a couple. They're strong if you bring 6. So we'll lean into that because Iron Hands tanks, they get their wounds back on a 6, and you can pay to get their wounds back on a 5 with It Will Not Die. And if you put Ferrus Manus and Blessed Ordo Simulacrum in the army, then they get their wounds back on a 4, and here be Ferrus Manus. I'll get to him eventually. So those are the projects on the go. Thanks for Raiders fan. Raiders are doing good. What's up with Devontae Adams, though? But they're doing, last half of last season was a season of 2 halves, right? And they're doing well this season. They look strong. It'll be nice to see the Raiders. They've got a proper billionaire behind them. They've got money behind them now. So, and they have never done well. So it'll be nice to see how far they get. I'm sensing that you like Midwestern American football teams. I've supported the Denver Broncos since they came to Wembley. Then I just like the Lions are an underdog story. I don't like the Chiefs. Who likes the Chiefs? No one likes the Chiefs. Come on now. They just win all the time. Don't like the Packers since they got rid of Aaron Rodgers. I hope the Jets do really well with Aaron Rodgers because, you watch Hard Knocks. And Aaron Rodgers came across as a G. And Lions, the underdog story. Did you magnetize Ferrus Manus' head? No. Does Ferrus Manus have a detachable head? No. Swifties like the Chiefs. I know, right? I remember watching Super Bowl last year. I saw more of Taylor Swift during the Super Bowl than I had in the previous years. Ravens and Lamar are my guys. Ravens looking okay. Back and you're still going sweet. Wrath and Constantine, welcome back. I just did the 2-minute warning. We are wrapping up. We are on the way out. We're doing the 2-minute warning, which got me talking about American football and turned off every single UK person who's in the chat. But the Americans started piping up. We call it American football here, by the way, because we have football. And you guys are American football. Whereas over there, you call it football and then soccer. But for us, if we talked about football at all, people will go, what? Don't you mean the Arsenal? No, over here, it is American football. Because quite clearly, it's American and football. Well, it's not really football. It's hand egg, isn't it? You don't do much kicking. America! I'm UK, so not all of us. Nice! So there's a few people in the UK that quite like it. But yeah, thanks for the chat this evening, guys. I will see those of you who are at March. Do you go to games when the NFL plays over there? I've been to Wembley quite a few times to watch the football, yes. Last time was about 4 years ago. I think 4 or 5 years ago was the last time, but I've been a few times. Yes. It's a football because the ball was roughly a foot in length. Jacques Wood's in the UK as well. Jacques Wood, we know that you're in Belgium or France. Come on now. But yeah, I found out why it's called football over here and why we call it soccer. Turns out it's half right. No idea what you're talking about. Anyway, so yeah, so it's good chat this evening, guys. Thank you. I had fun. Thanks for all the donations. Hi to my new member. Thank you, Wojciech, for throwing lots of money at me. Luton, if you watch this in the VOD squad afterwards and you know, the Dark King thing, do some research, make that video where you want to see it. All those of you that are coming on Sunday, I will see you then. I should be around next Tuesday to do another one of these. What day is it today? It's the 2nd, right? I'm recording an STC tomorrow for Friday release. So that's a thing. That's where I am. That's where I am. Jacques Woods, I'll see you at March of Winters 2. Nice. Christian Kapang, I'm not going to read all that stuff. That's a wall of chat about soccer. Prophet of Truth, yeah, go away. Watch some of my battle reports. They're lovely. The one at the weekend was a lovely one. It was a good one. We did well. I enjoyed that one at the weekend. That was a big 5,000 point Horus Heresy battle report. Take the gateway, attack and defend. 20-second nemesis, destroy a chapter of the Ultramarines. Beautiful looking army. Beautiful looking thing around it. It just worked. It worked well. It worked well. I enjoyed that one. Yeah. God, it's hot in here. Why is it so hot in here? It's probably this hat. I need to take it off. Happy wargaming.